This is Our News, the weekend edition. And on the broadcast tonight, the death toll from Hurricane Dorian continues to increase. Plus, hundreds of evacuees from ABACO arriving in the capital. And the country's murder count up as 4 people are killed.
Our News is brought to you by ALICIA.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. Topping news, the official death count from Hurricane Dorian now stands at 43. The Prime Minister advised of the death toll in a statement following a cabinet meeting last evening. So far, 35 deaths have been recorded in ABACO and 8 in Grand Bahama. The number of deaths is expected to significantly increase as the Prime Minister acknowledged that many more are missing. Dr. Minnis says this is one of the stark realities we are facing in this hour of darkness, adding that the loss of life we are experiencing is both catastrophic and devastating. On Thursday, Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands says he expects the final death toll to be staggering. Well, a number of shelters here in the capital are beginning to fill up as evacuation efforts are ramping up. Hundreds of evacuees are being housed over at the Kendall Jill Isaacs Gymnasium. Meantime, another shelter is at the Fox Hill Community Center, which is also beginning to see an uptick in the amount of evacuee arrivals. This community center in Fox Hill was a hive of activity today. It's being used to house those displaced storm victims in the interim. According to a social services representative who spoke with our news team, so far approximately 140 people have registered at that shelter. That number is expected to increase this evening as more evacuees are scheduled to arrive. The representative also told our news team that operations were running smoothly. The community center is also where we met Max Brown, an evacuee from ABACO. He called the storm simply devastating.
You know, I literally see my life gone. You know, where I was in an apartment, the whole roof got blown off and the walls. We had to run downstairs for cover. And after that, if it wasn't for the eye, we all would have died. You know, because where we was, the whole place got flooded out and the whole building came down.
While he was thankful that he and his family survived the terror of Hurricane Dorian, Brown expressed dissatisfaction with government's seemingly slow response in the aftermath of the storm.
With the government, it's a serious issue because they said money, all these things been sent, and yesterday was the first day we see minutes in ABACO. And the storm was done over 3 days ago. You understand? We came on a live boat yesterday. He was supposed to have been sending in boats for us to come over here. We had to end up coming with a live, and the only reason they came over there is they brought supplies. And where they saw so much people at the dock, they decided to bring a couple people.
And like so many other evacuees, Brown painted a grim picture of conditions in Marsh Harbor.
ABACO basically is just finished. It'll take at least the next 2 or 3 years for them just to do Marsh Harbor. Not even the other settlements and the other keys. You understand? And then on top of that, we still got dead bodies all over the place. So far, while I was there, they say like they recovered like 200 dead bodies. They had to evacuate everybody that was staying at the clinic because there's too much dead people around. And like I say right now, we still got people out there that ain't even been found, that's crushed under buildings. Little children that was washed and blown away from their parents. It's a sad situation.
After experiencing such a traumatic event, Brown says he has no intent on returning to ABACO.
My plan is I'm trying to get in Canada. I came here just to, you know, be able to bed and eat with sense and try to get all my paperwork together and try to get in Canada. Because, I mean, even here now, so ain't nothing I can do here. This is done overpopulated. We got people down in ABACO and Nassau people here. So it ain't gonna be much for me to do here. Plus, what I really want to do is start over fresh. I want a new life.
Evacuations from storm-ravaged ABACO continue today, with hundreds expected to be brought to New Providence. An outpouring of donations and assistance is ensuring that those evacuees are being housed once on the island. Jillian Gray tells us more.
It's been 1 week since Hurricane Dorian tore through the northern islands, and with hundreds left homeless, several civic and corporate groups have partnered with the nonprofit organization HEADKNOWLES to ensure that those hardest hit are being evacuated. About 700 people arrived by air from ABACO and Freeport, with hundreds more expected by boat. Alicia Robinson, one of the team leaders at HEADKNOWLES, said their evacuation plan was strategic.
We obviously focused on people that needed medical attention first, those in clinics. Then we moved on to kids and ladies and kids, and then also the masses.
With hundreds seeking shelter every day, it's been an arduous task to house everyone. Nonetheless, Robinson said they have put measures in place to house as many people as possible.
We have some people that are actually going into private homes. We have some other private organizations that are sheltering people as well. And then you have the JILLIAN's gym. We are also setting up what's called Tent City, where Wildflowers has actually donated 2 very large tents that will be secluded, enclosed, air-conditioned. So for those persons that are not exactly sure where they're going to go in the next 48 hours, we're housing them there, getting them obviously AC, food, water, until we figure out where we're going to put them.
As planes leave New Providence heading to the storm-ravaged islands for evacuees, they load up with relief supplies for those still on the island as well. Robinson admitted that she and her team have been touched deeply by the pain of the evacuees. Despite the emotional roller coaster, she said they are simply doing what needs to be done.
It's hard because a lot of them I know personally, and just to hear their stories as they're walking in, see the weight lifted off of their shoulders as they get off of the plane. It's a lot. I'm holding up. I'm not really sleeping, but it has to be done. We have to get these people to safety.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jillian Gray.
Meanwhile, a growing number of storm survivors are taking to social media to express their anger and frustration over the pace of rescue and recovery efforts. Bishop Terence Strawn of Life Gate Christian Ministries International in Abaco was transported to Nassau this week along with his family after losing his home during the passage of Hurricane Dorian. Strawn, who says he left Abaco with nothing but the clothes on his back, says everything in his community was wiped out, including the stores, banks, homes, gas stations, and power, adding the stench of dead bodies is unbelievable.
The only thing that we did to survive over the last several days was scavenge through food stores, trying to pick up tuna fish cans or corned beef cans or water and whatnot, and there is no help. I am very frustrated and upset at the government because we received no help. Thank God for the Americans that came in through Treasure Key, bringing plane loads of stuff after stuff.
Strawn also took aim at Bahamas Air, noting that before the government announced on Friday that Bahamas Air would be flying evacuees out of Abaco free of charge for 5 days, he and his family were forced to pay the national fly carrier to leave the island after the killer storm.
You could not even get on Bahamas Air. We paid $75. My son, my wife, and my youngest boy, my son, my wife, and myself, $75 per person, or Bahamas Air was not allowing you to get on the plane. Thank God for Western Air that came to deliver some stuff, and they decided that they were going to carry as much people as they can, and they did it for free. They did it for free. And our government had Bahamas Air charge us $75 to get over here in the Bahamas. My God, something is definitely wrong with that.
Fellow Abaconian Shannon MOXEY described his time in the storm as 3 days of hell. He said he is a broken man after personally retrieving several bodies of those who died during the dangerous storm.
I retrieved a lot of bodies. You understand me? I saw bodies because I was on the ground. I was the only one working search and rescue in ABACO until the Defense Force and the police came. You understand me? There was an 8-year-old who drowned, and his mother came to me and asked me to go get his body. And I tried for 3 days to get it until we finally get his body. I saw people trapped I saw bodies swollen beyond recognition that I could not even recognize faces.
MOXEY says, like the Strong family, he too was charged $75 to get on a Bahamas Air flight out of ABACO.
This man menace, you ain't gonna never see the Prime Minister office again after this one. You understand me? The people of ABACO need help. I was one of the lucky ones. We had the charter, Bahamas Air, to get out of ABACO people. They are charging people to get out of ABACO. You have people in ABACO who are old and cannot work, who do not have no money. The banks are down. You know what I mean? The banks are down.
Well, U.S. helicopters have been in and out of ABACO in Grand Bahama as teams from various U.S. agencies, including the Coast Guard, hit the ground to lend their assistance. President Donald Trump pledged his country's continued support during the Bahamas' darkest hour.
Best wishes to the people of the Bahamas. I know what you're going through. I spoke to your Prime Minister yesterday, and he's absolutely devastated. It looks like the numbers are going to be far worse than anyone ever thought. At the request of your government, the United States has come in. We have the Coast Guard. We have tremendous numbers of people working there. We're bringing food, we're bringing water.
Trump says though the U.S. fared better than the Bahamas during the passage of Hurricane Dorian, that country is with Bahamians.
As you know, in the United States, we weren't hit nearly as hard as was thought, but the Bahamas, you got hit very, very hard. I just want to say this. On behalf of the United States and the people of the United States, we're working hard, we're with you, and God bless you.
Well, from the crime beat tonight, 4 people were shot and killed and 8 others were injured in separate incidents in New Providence last night, police reported. The details surrounding the shootings remain unclear. Police are expected to update the media soon. The 8 people who were injured are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Well, still ahead, the Progressive Liberal Party assisting with evacuation efforts. That story and more when Our News, the Weekend Edition, returns.